Hey everybody, Charles Calhoun, aka the Shadetree Pro. I hope everybody's new year is going well. I'm here at the beautiful Grand Vista Marriott in Orlando, Florida, where I own and operate my teaching business under the Shadetree. Also, I did tell you all that I do have my membership up there. Like I said, I haven't got my videos and things working there, of everything there, but you can go ahead and join the membership. Like I said, there's good information coming. But don't forget, I'm still going to have these conversations like the one I'm getting ready to have today, in a sense, because like I said, I'm pushing top down. And as I said, top down, the movement for improvement. So as I'm going to be talking about, what is this thing that they're talking about in the golf swing now? And that's this board that goes this way, this way, this way, this way, rocket back, rocket back, rocket back. And oh my God, people, I mean, if you just do a little bit of anatomy and understanding in a sense, because here is and I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it with aggression, here is the stupidity of some of the things that's being taught in golf that people are falling for. And if you just use the smallest bit of common sense, you could see it's not going to really work in a sense. I've discussed with you all, and I said when you make a golf swing that you're not going from side to side. You're on, like I said, pinky toe to big toe, pinky toe to big toe. I mean, your foot has movements. If you have one leg in a sense, then you couldn't go from left to right or whatever, but you have to go from outside the foot to inside the foot, or inside the foot to outside, whatever you do it. But there's always a shifting. It's never this. You're never doing that. That's a Frankenstein move, and there's no rhythm to that. And I think that, personally, I think them boards are trash. And I ain't going to sit here and deny it. I think they're trash. And I think they teach you the wrong way. And the worst part about those boards is this, and this is killing me. They're talking about getting on this board, and then when you get down here, then all of a sudden when you're going through, you rock and you push off to get to this side. People, the worst thing you can do in golf is push off. You can shift over, but pushing off is this. And here's the problem, and all this ground force and all this stuff, whatever. Let me show you what pushing off is. And they always talk about it, and I had a guy that tried to use track as a reference. Well, let me show you this. If I was in track, and and I've been inside the blocks. I had one of my cousins, like I said, he was a champion sprinter. But anyway, when I'm on that block and I'm down here in this block, and this is why words matter. It's not the pushing off in itself or whatever is a sense of the feel or the energy. But if I'm on that block, if I'm pushing off, then and it wouldn't be pushing, it would be pulling. I would pull my foot off. That's how I get off the block. But if I was using the block, what I would be doing is pushing into the block. So when I'm getting ready to go, I push into the block. I push into the block. That gives me the energy to spring out when I push into the block. When you come off the block, it's pulling. To get the block to work properly, you got to push into the block. And that's what my cousin used to tell me all the time. And he said one of his biggest things was what he would do, he could never come out the block because he would pull up. And his name was Robert Pimp Collins. You can look him up, from Oak Hill, West Virginia. He got records that probably will never be broken, especially in the state of West Virginia. And that's the same thing in the golf swing, and especially using top down. When we go top down, we are pushing top down, scapula drop. We're pushing into the ground. We're staying stabilized into the ground. And the reason that we're staying stabilized into the ground, because these same people who saying this pushing off, the problem is that when you push, when you think that you're pushing off, in essence, what you actually is doing is pulling. What you're really doing is you're getting rid of the ankles. And you need your ankles for a good mobility, to when you make a golf swing, that all of a sudden your ankles are catching everything, because your feet in itself are, they absorb the energy, they balance, they're weight bearing, but you need that ankles. You need the feeling of the ankles, because when you get all of this rotation and all this that we're going to have, because there is some rotation that's definitely going to happen in the golf swing, something has to catch it. And we're not doing Bugs Bunny. That's not what we're doing, people, here. What we're doing is we have to have a source to when we go down, in a sense, when we, especially on scap drop, when we drop, we got to catch that. And that source has got to go to the ankle. So what we're doing, we're not pushing up off the ground. I've always said I think that's ignorant. And I don't care. And I don't care what kind of science they're trying to say it is. Now, just because you can do it, and I still say you're pushing into the ground and your reactions make you bouncing off, because no different when you're jumping on a trampoline, the energy is pushing down into it, and then all of a sudden the springing force or whatever pushes back up and throws you up. That throws you off of the trampoline, but you're still pushing into it. Unfortunately, the ground don't spring like that. And even those think they're pushing off, the toe is still in the ground in a sense, so it's still pushing into the ground, not off. People, this is simple. This is simple science. And here's the sad part about all that. Yeah, I'm giving you a mouthful of it today. Here's the sad part out of it. These same people who are sitting and talking about, and I had a player that was doing this, that's talking about pushing off, and I was like, shift, or whatever. It's the same ones that's sitting here telling you, shallow the club. So here's what I'm trying to figure out. If I'm getting up here and I have to shallow the club, which you already know how I feel about shallowing the club. If I have to shallow the club, and then all of a sudden when I'm coming down here and I'm pushing off, when do I get to the ball? But then they say top down. Oh, he don't know what he's talking about. Top down is, that's not correct. The data says, the science says. Well, the data can go straight to hell because they don't know what they're talking about. Because here it is. You step on one of them with all their data and all that stuff, you step on it. They can't tell the difference on that data, whether you're swinging a golf club, swinging a baseball bat, or swinging a stick. So the difficulty is plain and simple, people. There's no difficulty. I'm in this anatomically neutral position. This is top down. I'm in this anatomically neutral position. And there's not a biomechanist, not a scientist, no one out there that can't tell me that when you lift your arm, the scapula does not raise. That's not even questionable, and it shouldn't be questionable. But when you lift this arm, look at this, from this anatomically neutral position. See how my palms are facing out. All I gotta do is bring my arm up. And I bring it because the body is always seeking its balance. This is the anatomically neutral position. When I take it up, I'm already pretty much set in that backswing. And guess what? And then when the palms are turned this way, then guess what? Anatomically neutral position here, bring it to when the palms turn in and just bring it over. There's your thing. Now, I ain't got to do all of this da-da-da-da-da, because the truth is, the only reason they don't understand, because they haven't really took the time to study the scapula and itself, or the entire shoulder girdle as a separate entity. So they're still thinking that the golf swing is starting from the ground up, and all of these things are nothing but compensations for a lack of understanding the facts. And the fact is, you have to get this club up and bring it back down to strike. And all this other nonsense or whatever is just wasted motion. And most importantly, people out there, it's a waste of your money. And more importantly, it's a waste of your time. Because you cannot hit a golf ball unless you get this club up in the air and bring it back down. I don't care who you are. I don't care your $5,000 teachers. And I told a guy on one of these posts, I said, let me explain something new. If all these guys is, you're paying your $5,000 to, why are you on my post? I mean, why are you on my post? Because he's made some words, something to the effect of whatever, that I know you're just making this stuff up, or the data says or whatever, and then as I told him, and I said, just like I said to somebody else, well, there ain't no data out there, I got it. I got my top down written. That's going to tell you exactly what the scapula is doing and how it's doing. And I said, if it did, then they would change all this craziness that they're talking about, shallow this and pushing off this. People is getting to the point of being stupid. I mean, it really is, and I don't care to say it, you know. You know, I don't care because, as I said before, you know, I'm going to tell you the real deal. I'm going to tell you how it is. And if you really pay attention, you look, it'll make a lot of sense to you. You know, you definitely need a good unit turn. And when I show you all, you know, in my membership, when I show you all as we progressing, you know, what a good turn, how you really create a turn. And when I show you how to really create a turn, you'll never have to worry about turning again in your entire life of playing golf. You will never have to worry about a turn, because a turn is a simple motion. And like Harvey Pennick said, he said the turn is a simple motion that has been made to seem complex by other teachers' theories, idiosyncrasies, and philosophies, in a sense. Well, as I told you all before, people, you know, I don't create nothing in itself. What I do is define. I define the movements of the body and the action. And as I told you all before, I tell you what the action is. You can create whatever feel that you want. But these people these people are losing their minds, and I don't care to say it. And anybody who don't like what I say, you know, please do not get on my channel. You don't have to deal with it. But the most important thing is I've said to people, I am not afraid to say what I need to say. And I ain't afraid to say it to whoever you call them the best, or whoever the deal is. You know, when it comes down to the Shadetree Pro swing system and philosophy top down, I'm the best. Because don't nobody else teach it. And that ain't a slap on me. That's a slap on people who, just like I said, you know, that's on them. But you all have seen me each and every time. Good unit turn. Good solid smoothness. All I'm doing is taking it up. And I ain't doing nothing fancy, people. I'm taking that club up and I'm bringing it back down the strike. It's just set there, and I mean, it's just... And that's how it goes. So people, yeah, you know, I had to get in that mode for the first time, for the first of the year, because here's why I said, you know, it was, there's a piece of me that's, because I know how it is. I'll be 58 here in January, and I've seen this game played out before, and I know how it plays out. You know, I got so many that you didn't take the time. And I don't mind you disagreeing with me. I don't care about that. But what I do have a problem with is when you lack the ability and the information to be able to seek it for yourself, but you just go by what somebody else says, and then you have the audacity to be able, excuse the thing that I read, to be able to tell me that I'm wrong, that I don't know what I'm talking about, that I'm copying somebody's stuff. And I know people tell me, oh, Charles, look past those people. No, I don't look past those people, because those people are out there teaching people, and then what they're doing, they're continuing to build this nonsense, in a sense, of something that should be so freaking simple. And I don't care whether it's pitching, chipping, the club's got to get up, and then boom. And I guess when I'm going to hit, and as I told you all before, no matter what I do, whether it's my chipping, whether it's my putting, whether it's bunker play, scap up, scap down. Now, when I sit here, do I chip? Do I need to go scap? Do I need to shallow the club to chip? Do I need to do all this? And then these same people will say, well, the golf swing is nothing but an extension of a long chip or a long this or whatever. And then all of a sudden I'm watching some of the students. And they can't even hit the damn golf ball. It's stupid, people. And it takes a person like me who to say that enough is enough, you know. And I don't care if you feel like it's the best thing for you. No, it ain't the best thing for you, and it ain't gonna work. Let's just put it that way. You know, I'm out of the Band-Aid stage. I give you the facts. I give you the actions where you can create your feel. People, don't forget, I do have my membership up there. Go ahead and join that. $9.99 for a month. That's less than $120 a year. That's me talking about me teaching the Shadetree Pros top down lift and shift Y swing. I mean, it's a simple motion. As simple as I made it, as I said, I created the movements for the top-down swing system and philosophy, and now I'm going to show you how to put that Y swing together. I hope y'all saw that video with my boy Chucky Atkins, you know, former NBA player, you know, and it says, hey, Chuck was here, and now he getting here. And everybody's starting to pay attention to it now. He's learning how to score, because that's one thing I know how to score. And he's like, you know, Calhoun, he said, you know what, this is where it's at. And I said, yeah, Chuck. I said, I don't care how good I'm hitting it or bad I'm hitting it. The most important thing is you got to learn to score, because that's the only thing that counts when you write it down on the scorecard. Once again, people, this is Charles Calhoun, aka the Shadetree Pro, here at the beautiful Grand Vista Marriott in Orlando, Florida. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to join and sign up for my membership. And you know how I say it, baby, always good golfing.